Hola, and welcome to Kim at Home. In today's video, I will be tackling my master bath, I will be doing a deep clean in here, and also a much needed painting project in my bedroom. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. I will be starting out in my master bath.
First, you gotta spray CLR and walk away. This is a mixture of vinegar and Dawn, so I'm gonna spray that as well.
So about once a week, I like to make sure that I clean off my shower head. A lot of times it gets, hard water buildup or calcium and rust buildup. So I want to make sure that all gets cleaned off. And I really like taking a toothbrush to it. This bathroom cleaner is the truth. I picked it up from the Dollar Tree and it works just as well as scrubbing bubbles, and it's only $1. The very top of your shower is an area that's often forgotten. I know mine gets super dusty, so make sure you're checking this as well. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Kim, K-Y-M, and I would love for you to join my YouTube family. Consider subscribing. We're called the Keep Up Crew. We're just trying to keep up with work-life balance and everything in between.
Ooh, that's nasty. Ooh, that's real nasty. Ugh.
You don't even want to know how my OCD is feeling right now. It is just, So I have to make sure that I get this cleaned up as fast as possible. This is one of the main reasons that I felt it was important to use a toothbrush when doing a deep clean. It really helps with those hard to reach places. It looks so much better now, much better than it did before. Big difference. And I must say that I'm very happy with the outcome. I'm sure I say this all the time, but there's nothing like showering in a clean shower. Everything looks so good in here. Moving right along to the bathtub that we do not use. It is super dusty. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to just basically dust everything off, dust it into the bathtub, and rinse it out. It is important to dust first. That way you are not wiping anything off with a wet substance on top of the dust, because it just creates a bigger mess and you do not want that. When I'm cleaning out the bathtub, I'm using the same exact products that I use for the shower, and all of that is linked in the description box.
Walking on fire. Trying not to burn my feet, I'm tired of fighting, saying things we don't mean. You know I don't like it when you're packing your bag and turning your back, calling me a liar.
As a friendly reminder, it is important that when you're cleaning any room that you're wiping off every single area that you're able to touch, anything that has a surface. So the entire bathtub needs to be cleaned off. It's also just a smart way to clean thoroughly. And remember, as a Keep Up Crew member, you are working smart and not hard.
Now I got these voices in my head, baby, I can focus. Feels like I've been hypnotized. I'm terrified of losing.
Here's what the bathtub looks like after the deep clean. I must say, it looks really good. It is dust-free for 24 hours.
On my list was this floor. So we have a project coming up at some point, don't know when, but some of this grout is coming up in certain spots in our bathroom, and we need to make sure that we regrout the floor. However, we're not about to do that right now. We're about to just clean the grout up at the moment. And it looks like it's super dirty, but those are missing pieces. And paint.
I say in paint because I've painted this bathroom 4 times, but we're not going to get into that. Right now, we're just going to get the grout cleaned up on the floor. I'm going to spray it with the Dawn dish detergent and vinegar, but first, I'm going to sweep the floor. In spraying this, I'm making sure that it's like at a needlepoint setting and not a mist setting because I want it to directly hit the actual grout. And of course, we will be deep cleaning this with a toothbrush.
Now I got these voices in my head, baby. I can focus. Feels like I've been hypnotized.
I want to point out that the grout is tan already, so you can't even really tell a difference when I clean it. I guess I'm mopping my floor really, really well when I mop it because the grout really wasn't that dirty. This is what it looks like after all of the grout has been cleaned off. Again, you can't really tell a difference because it's the same color, but it is satisfying to know that it's cleaned out thoroughly. So now I'll be mopping the floor with my man, OCedar. If you don't have an OCedar brand of a mop, I'm telling you what, you might want to go check into it because they are amazing. The OCedar brand has so many different styles of mops, but I'm really partial to this one. Even though you really cannot tell because there's so many cracks in the actual grout, it looks really good. What is it time for? This dresser to be painted. I'm so excited, y'all. Dresser has been on my to-do list for probably about 6 months. I want to make sure that I get it painted. Now, when I'm painting it, I'm going to paint it with furniture paint, and you don't have to like sand or prime or anything like that. However, since it's stained with a dark color, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of primer on it first. Before I actually prime the dresser, I want to prep it by dusting it off and wiping it with just an all-purpose cleaner in its method. Very important to make sure that you clean off the dresser. You don't want to paint over dust because then you'll have marks, and that's not cute. Oh, and be sure to wipe down the entire surface of which you're painting to make sure that it's cleaned thoroughly. This dresser is heavy, so I'm not carrying it downstairs to paint in the garage or on the patio. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint it in here in my bedroom. So I wanna make sure that my floor is safe. I'm putting plastic down. It's so dark, I have to start out with a primer. So this is what you're gonna need today. This is the primer. Valspar. Multi-surface. Shake, shake, shake. You will also need these because you're going to need one for the primer and one for the actual paint. Okay, the other thing you want to do is make sure that you are dressed appropriately. So I'm changing my shirt to this. Moving right along to the priming, let's go ahead and get started with that. The first thing I did was shook it. I shook it for like 2 minutes. I think it says 2 to 3 minutes on the actual directions. If you have a stir stick, you can use that, but I find shaking it more effective. Also, for me, cleaning up and working goes hand in hand, so I want to make sure that I get this paint bucket cleaned off prior to, you know, it spilling all over the floor and remove my rings. If you're still here with me, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. I receive the most kind comments in the comment section. You guys are such an amazing group of people, and I'm so thankful for you. Now that that has the one coat, I'm gonna move right along to the inside of the drawers where I have to remove the hardware. I'm gonna go ahead and get it removed, cleaned up, and spray painted. Here's what the hardware looks like prior to me spray painting it. You will definitely want to clean off your hardware prior to spray painting it, and I just am going to wipe it off with a Clorox wipe. Don't forget those drawers. Those were not wiped down when we first wiped down the dresser. Remember, everything has to be thoroughly cleaned prior to painting. It's time to spray paint the hardware. The spray paint that I'm using is Rust-Oleum and the color is Champagne Mist. I really like the Rust-Oleum spray paint because it just gives overall good coverage. Anyway, this is what we are looking like. Here is the paint that I will be using, and that is what it looks like. This is the type of paint that you do not have to actually prime or sand, but the only reason I did prime first is because it was stained with a really, really dark stain. But this is what we're looking like, and we are about to start painting. The name of the paint color is Greek Villa. You know I like to stick with my neutral whites. The good thing about that is it pretty much goes with everything, kind of like a gray. Sometimes your projects do not go as planned. I should not be painting this dresser. We actually ordered an entire bedroom set that never came. I got so frustrated after waiting for a few months that I canceled it. So now we just got to work with what we're working with. So I'm refreshing the dresser.
You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me your love.
This is one coat. Here's what we're looking like. Not too bad. I may not have to put another coat on the drawers. We shall see. I'm gonna allow it to dry and go from there. But it looks good, right? I like it. It'll definitely lighten up that area of the room, even though we're probably about to rearrange the room again, so. But yeah, I'm thinking that the one coat is sufficient, maybe. It depends on how this side dries.
Keep it real. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside.
Here's what the hardware is looking like on the actual drawers. It looks really good. I pretty much tried to keep it the same color, and I think it turned out really well. Overall, I'm really satisfied with how the dresser came out. This dresser could go in any room. Like I said, it's a neutral white, so if I want to, mix it up and put it somewhere else, I definitely can. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great week. Bye, guys.